Hi, this is Jeannie, and this is So You Think You Can Write. So I haven't been active for a while. I've been focusing on my books, but I realized that this really helps me in being more accountable with writing and writing more books. So the topic for today is about how I started writing, how I got into the self-publishing industry. So it was always a dream of mine. Since I was 16 years old, I always wanted to become a writer. And I think even younger, even younger than that, I was always writing, scribbling, and drawing stuff. And I was just really highly imaginative person. I was an introvert growing up. So I needed an outlet, and I actually printed out my first book when I was 16 years old using my own computer, and I printed out my own collection of short stories and published it myself. I created my own booklet and gave it to my friends, and they loved it, and that's how it started. And then it was just like a dream of mine ever since. I wanted to go into journalism. So after high school, I was thinking about either music, journalism, or going to healthcare, like in the healthcare, becoming a doctor or just working in healthcare. And I chose the latter. I worked in healthcare instead of journalism and or music. But journalism, I realized, was really where my heart was. I really wanted to write. I really wanted to create content. I just really wanted to write stories, both true stories and fiction. And in a way, I didn't become a journalist, but now I'm blogging, and also doing podcasts. So in a way, it has satisfied my dream. So a few years ago, I joined a seminar. I think it was 2015, and I was in the US. So I signed up for this course from a writer, author, but he had his own, supposedly he published his own books and stuff like that. And he helped students write their own books. It was so I signed up for it, but at the end of a couple of weeks, or just maybe less than 30 days, I decided, you know what, doesn't feel right, because it's he's just gonna publish books as a publisher and on his own terms. It didn't feel right. So I waited. And so around 2017, 2018, I moved out of New York, sort of by choice, but not really. So anyway, and then I lived in Colorado for a while. So I clicked on this meetup group about goal setting and stuff like that. And this was in Denver. So I went there, and the woman, her name's Michelle. So she was conducting a free seminar about goal setting goals. And then I realized oh my God, she's doing a lot of things that I want to go into. So she was podcasting. She had a YouTube, and I think she had a YouTube, and she also was teaching people how to write books. And I'm like, dude, this is really what I want. And as soon as I heard that, I got her information and I signed up for her course. And I don't know if her course is still around, but that was one of the first courses that I joined, and it teaches you the basics on how to publish your book, because it is a learning curve. And that was I think her course was make money with ebooks, and I'm still there. I still have the files and stuff, and I went through them, and it's a really wonderful course because it's very affordable. I think it's the max was 300 something at that time. And I think there's like you can have access, limited access for like 150 or something, or if you just want like really really basic stuff, you can get it for 99. And I think I signed up for her mastermind group, which is really amazing, because I think if you have or you're offering a course with newbies, you really need to handhold them. So I really I'll try to link it below. I hope the course is still available. And anyway, I'll send you her details. She has a podcast, and she's my first book coach. And then after that, I was able to publish like maybe 1 or 2 books with her mentorship and her guidance. And then I just decided to sign up for other courses. And I think I found one that was slightly more expensive, but they offered like a payment plan. I think the thing was $750, but it offered like more content, a better overview, and then it provided like all the tools that you can need. It's this British guy, I forgot his name, Stevenson. Yeah, because I signed up for a bunch of stuff, and I might even have a podcast just separately for the courses that are available for writers. And so I just signed up, and I learned a lot, about everything you can imagine about self-publishing is in that. The content is there. And it was like an upgraded version of, Michelle's e-course, because Michelle's e-course was just basically the basics, with some accountability. So this guy leveled up. He's from the UK, and he provides you with a ton of content. It is just overwhelming at times, and I used it, and I'm still a student actually, because I still have access, and such an amazing course. So definitely if you want to start, I don't know if Michelle's still offering hers, start with hers and then level up to this dude from the UK. And eventually, like, I found other people, and I did subscribe for a lot of YouTube pages and stuff. And I just bumped into my most recent one, and I think I'm going to stay with them hopefully forever. I don't know. But it's Brian Cohen's Amazon ads, because I realized, like, when I was starting, I said, yeah, I'm going to do Barnes & Noble. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to go on Walmart online, and like but then I realized, like, I'm a huge Amazon book reader, and I have a ton of Kindle books, and I realized, you know what, I'm just going to focus on one area, which is Amazon ads, and I might as well just go all in. And then Brian Cohen's team, so I signed up for the basic ones, and then I signed up for the ad course, and I think I'm signing up for his mastermind. Hopefully I get in. Anyway, it's just amazing, like a lot of content, and this just focuses on creating ads on Amazon, because I tried it using YouTube, and then it just wasn't good, because you end up, if you don't have a good mentor, you end up losing money because you don't even know what you're doing. And yeah, it's just amazing. And so there's a lot of hand holding, and which is what I need, because I need accountability as a writer. And so last year I was like in and out of the Amazon ad school. And then I just realized, it just wasn't the right time to focus on my books last year. So I got pretty sick, and I was just recovering. And I said, although I did publish books, I still, just focused on mental health and just physical health and other stuff. But so last year was more recuperating, although I think I published like 3 books last year. I think I had 2 nonfiction books and a fiction book. So, but I'm still behind schedule, because I should write 6 books. So I'm also a believer in, and it really depends on you if this is what you want to do. But as for me, I realized that I want to do rapid release, which is to release a book every 3 months. Actually, that's not rapid release, actually, because rapid release is 1 book a month. So mine is like maybe quarterly because I have a full-time job and I do a lot of stuff as well. And so that it's not as overwhelming. So I'm doing like sort of like rapid release, but not really, maybe quarterly release, which is for me allows me to be accountable. So this is really based on your personality and based on what you really want, if you really want to write books. So yeah, and now I have published like 7-8 books on Amazon and 2 nonfiction and a ton of fiction. And I wrote about like mostly my genre is romance, romantic comedy, because it's just like close to my heart, because I wouldn't be motivated if I didn't write something that was close to my heart. Because as a writer, although you have to listen to your audience and stuff like that, I cannot just pick a genre and write in that genre if I didn't really believe in it and I didn't really consume it and I didn't really like it and I didn't have any passion for it. So, but the thing is, if you're choosing a genre, you want to pick a genre that you're really passionate about, but you also have to write to market. And what it means is that you have to write to, there's certain criterias that you have to hit in order to write to your base, your supporters and your customers. And it's a lot of learning. So right now I'm reading like a ton of books from other authors, learning from them, looking at their book covers, and just really evolving and just figuring out, how I can get better with my craft. So if you are on a budget, which I was, you always have to be on a budget when you're a writer, because it means like your expense has to be less than your sales, because otherwise you're not going to make a lot of money. So the thing is, so I know some like first time authors, what they want to do is they hire a really expensive like editor and like get the most expensive book covers. As for me, I believe in the gradual approach, which is just take things slowly. So I started with more affordable editors. They're really good anyway, because I have seen books that were edited by like editors that like cost like $700 to $1,000 or even more, and then there's still typos and stuff. I know, because like 2 authors, self-published authors, actually told me that, I paid this much money for this like editor and there's still typos and I need to revise everything and stuff like that. So that's 2 authors already. So it doesn't really matter. Like what matters is that you have a relationship with your editor, and also your editor, they're human. So I always edit after the editor and the editor edits after me, and then I use a software to edit. It's always going to be a ton of editing. I think to be perfect, maybe 4 or 5 edits. And then it's always going to be a work in progress. Editing in itself is work. Even if you hire an editor, you're still going to edit the edit. So anyway, so this is just like an overview of if you really think you can write, and if you really think this is for you. The thing is, you really have to want this, which I do. I'm really passionate. I've been doing it since 2019. I really started in 2018 with when I bumped into my book coach. But then my first product came out in 2019, and then I have not looked back ever since, and I continue to develop, evolve as a writer and learn. And then yeah, it's always gonna be like that. So if you think you can write, definitely try it and listen to my podcast for sure. You might learn a ton of stuff. I have author interviews. I have just your regular podcast episodes such as this one, where it just gives you an overview, and I'll teach you my journey. I'll talk about my journey. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two, but mostly my style is just conversational, because I don't want to overwhelm you if you're starting to just do this journey. You're starting on your journey. I don't want to overwhelm you, so it's just going to be more like a conversational tone. And definitely I like to interview more authors, because it just helps me as well, learning from other people. So if you're an author and in the self-publishing industry, you've been publishing for longer than me, for sure, definitely recommended, so that definitely so I can learn from you, and you can also help my listeners. So email me at homeofgenie@gmail.com, homeofgenie@gmail.com, and I'll be scouting more authors. I'll be really more active, and so you think you can write. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Goodbye.